Courtney Brickner with the Crafty Brick. I have done a laundry room update. We used to have our laundry room in the garage, but we moved it to inside and it's a brand new space. So I finally moved my washer and dryer in there and I realized I needed some shelving above it. So I decided to build some and also add a pattern to the wall behind the shelving. So I wanted to show you how I did that. There were some ups and downs with this project, but in the end, it all worked out. So I just wanted to bring you along on this little DIY journey with me. So let's go check it out. All right, so I'm trying to build a shelf for the top of my washer and dryer. I got some, what did I get? 5/8 by 1 inch pieces of wood to use for the brace to go along the sides here and the back wall. And then I also got a piece of plywood. So I've got this piece of plywood and then this one. It was nice because I was able to use the same piece of wood for both shelves. I'm gonna have a shelf that sits right below or right above the washer and dryer, and then a shelf that sits up a little bit higher. It's just gonna be more for like things that we don't use on a regular basis, that we don't have to reach all the time. And let's see, so I got that cut at Home Depot. So luckily I was able to use the same piece. So this one is 32 inches wide. This one is 16 inches. So it's gonna come almost to the front of the washer and dryer, but not quite all the way to the front. And I've got a little electrical outlet right here that I have to go above. So there's gonna be like about a 4 or 5 inch gap. So I got this piece of wood that's going to cover that little gap above the washer and dryer. So let's get started. The plywood that I got was 6 feet wide, but my wall is not quite 6 feet. So I had to cut off about 1.5 inches from the piece of plywood that I got cut at Home Depot. So I got that cut and then got the supports cut the size that I need and then sanded the edges. And then I was ready to take it upstairs and put all the pieces together and assemble the shelves. So I got my Ryobi laser level. I put it, there's a little pin that it comes with, so I put it in the wall so that I can get this brace straight, make sure that it's level. Looks like my wall is not even, so I'm going to have to sand down the sides just a little bit because it got stuck when I was trying to put it in place. So I'm going to sand these down, get the placement of everything correct, and then I will go ahead and paint and stain the wood. All right, first I used my laser level. I've got it in the wall and I used it to find the studs. I used my stud finder first, and then I went along the line and drilled just a little pilot hole to get the studs and make sure that I was in the right spot. I wanted to give you a little bit of a closer look at this Ryobi stud finder. I really like it compared to other stud finders that I've used, and I wanted to just show you quickly how it works. So there's a button on the side here. You push it against, hold it against the wall, and you push that button and you'll see the green lights flash. When they stop flashing, it means that it's ready to be used. So you press it against the wall while you're holding the button on the side and run it along the wall, and then you will see green lights start to flash. When the lights at the top are all green and then this little square has a green light around it, that means you found the middle of the stud. And the great thing about this is you push the little button there and it will leave a little pinhole in the wall, very little, but it tells you exactly where you need to drill. So I think that that is really helpful. So this stud finder is really good. I've used other ones, but this one is by far the best. Okay, now I'm gonna take my piece of wood here and see, I'm gonna mark where the where the studs are. So I've got one here, one here, let's see, and there. Okay, I found studs and I screwed this support bracket into the wall. Now is the moment of truth to see if I did an accurate cut when I cut the little excess off of this piece of plywood. I have a tendency to miscalculate when I'm trying to be really accurate with my cuts, so I was just hoping that it was going to fit. This wall is a little annoying because it seems like it's wider in the front than it is in the back, so I just wasn't quite sure, but I am so excited it worked. Now it's time to work on the braces for the top shelf, and I will go about that the same way that I did the bottom ones. Now we're going to go ahead and check and make sure that this top shelf fits the way that it should fit up top. See if this cut that I did was accurate as well. A little bit frustrating, like I said, the shelf is wider in the front than in the back, but I think that I can go ahead and make it fit, push it in just a little bit more, and then we are good to go. Okay, I've gotten both of the shelves up with the brackets, and then I also installed a 1x5 board on the front just to give it a more finished look. On the top, I installed a couple support braces because this one is going to stay in place. This one, I actually didn't attach it to the side mounting support brackets because if we do have a problem with the washer and dryer, I actually want to be able to take this one off. So it's resting on top of there, but it will come off if we need to get to the back of the washer and dryer. But the top one is going to stay in place. So now I'm just going to go ahead and paint the underside of this, and then I'll be staining the whole thing. So my current situation is standing on a chair trying to get this pattern on the wall, and they were crooked. Here's what I have so far. Yes, I've pulled off paint. Yes, I have a pile of mess ups. Whatever. My cute little laser level is not working out so great. So I have made a ruler, a level ruler. The good thing is that my shelf is level, so we're starting at a good point. So I think the next plan is to try and get these up and level. Okay, so previous plan has been scrapped. I decided to print some hexagons with vinyl, and I'm taping them to this piece of cardboard. I used the little bend in the cardboard to get the line straight on the top here with the red one, and then I'm going to take my ruler and cut along the edges of each hexagon. I wanted to use the ruler because I want to make sure all of the edges are straight, because I'm going to use this as a template to put my design on the wall. So I'm just going to take my time, use the ruler, go around each side of each hexagon, cut it out, and then I will be able to have this sturdy template with the cardboard attached on the back to use to put the design on the wall. Okay, so I just made this template and we're gonna see how it goes. I feel like worst case scenario, I just paint over it, right? To start out, I used the stencil and a pencil, and then I took my level to make sure that everything was straight and lined up, and I just traced around the stencil all the way down the wall. And I just wanted to make sure that everything was in the right spot before I did any painting. So then I took my level and drew the middle line so that I knew that the middle line was straight as well. So I did that on the bottom, and I also did that on the top shelf or the top wall. Then when I finished everything with the pencil, I took a paint pen and still used my stencil to just help me get the line straight, but I went over all of the pencil lines with my paint pen, and then that is what really made this so much easier to get all of the lines straight and to get everything in the right spot. So I did that on the bottom shelf, and then I did that on top of the top shelf. After I finished all the lines, I took some paint and went back and did some touch-up work around the areas that needed it. I'm obsessed with how this pattern turned out on the wall. It's exactly what I envisioned, and I think it's going to look really great when I get some other decor up here. So I haven't finished everything with it, but the shelves are finished and my pattern on the wall is all finished. So I'm just trying to figure out all the decor after that. So I'm just kind of playing around with different ways of how I want to do it. But that's how I built the shelf, and that's how I put the pattern on. I hope that you enjoyed watching today. I appreciate you being here. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and turn those notifications so you don't miss anything crafty. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.